members, it's meeting at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
We have all board members except for Ms. McFarlane present. She is on sick leave, bless you.
Thank you.
Any public comment on closed session items? Seeing none, we adjourn to except for Ms. McFarland, who is not well. We have our student representatives present. We have Lucas and Samantha. Welcome. And if Lucas can please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have reports on actions from closed session. We have some public employee appointments today. Ms. Alexander motion and Mr. Stroh second, and the board has approved the placement of Melina Puente as the middle school vice principal. Effective date to be determined and location to be determined. It was voted 6 yes and 1 absent. Mr. Naga motion and Mr. Stroh second, and the board approved the placement of Abbas Akhtar as the elementary vice principal, location and effective date to be determined. It was approved by the following vote of 6 yes and 1 absent. We have some recognitions this afternoon, and it's kind of long, but I would like to read it. So I would appreciate your patience with me.
Dr. Ball and members of the board, just so you know, tonight Joe Patty is here representing all the crews that helped and assist. So he's representing the whole group. It's all the weight's on his shoulders.
Thank you, John. Your board recognizes the outstanding efforts of the Ronald E. McNair High School. The Lodi Unified School District Board of Education proudly recognizes and commends the extraordinary efforts of the maintenance and operations staff, facilities and planning staff, Ronald E. McNair plant supervisor, custodial staff, supervisors and administrators for their unwavering dedication and immediate response following the recent flooding at Ronald E. McNair High School. On short notice, these teams mobilized with urgency and determination to address the significant damage caused by flooding on the first floor of the campus. Their work included mitigating water damage, removing and repairing baseboards, deep cleaning affected areas, and restoring the school environment to ensure it was safe and welcoming for all students and staff. Many of these individuals worked countless hours, often through evenings and weekends, demonstrating an exceptional commitment to the well-being of McNair community. Thanks to their tireless efforts, Ronald E. McNair High School was able to reopen just 1 week after the incident, allowing students and teachers to return from remote learning and resume in-person instruction. This rapid recovery would not have been possible without the collaboration, expertise, and dedication of every staff member involved. The Board of Education extends its deepest gratitude to all who contributed to this remarkable achievement. Your actions exemplify the spirit of service and excellence that defines Lodi Unified School District. The entire district owes you a debt of gratitude for going above and beyond in support of Ronald E. McNair High School. This is with sincere appreciation from your school board. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you again. We have a spotlight today. Lodi High School Advanced Placement Program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm running away.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board President Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Mr. Young. My name is Peter Lambert. I'm the Area Director for Area 2, and I'm here to introduce Lodi High School and Dr. Jesus Marone. Thank you for allowing us to spotlight the incredible efforts of the Lodi High School administration and teaching team, in which they have the highest number of students enrolled in AP classes within our district, and they also have the highest passage rate of students within our district. And so it's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jesus Marone.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Dr. Ball, board members, Superintendent Young. Again, my name is Dr. Jesus Marone, and I'm the principal of Lodi High School. On behalf of our school, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to highlight our school, the strength of our advanced AP program at Lodi High School. However, we're especially grateful for your support in covering the AP exam fees for all students last year and this year. By removing these financial barriers, you've made it possible for every single student, regardless of their background, to challenge themselves in taking these AP courses and exams. Joining me tonight, I have Ms. Basinger, who's my vice principal and AP coordinator. I also have some of my dedicated AP teachers, Ms. Dulce Herrera, Ms. Beth Osterman, Ms. Missy Salas, and Ms. Kristen Winterhalter. Together, they will share their classroom successes and innovative practices that they plan and further aspirations that they continue for their AP program this year and the following years. Slide 2, please. At Lodi High School, our advanced placement courses are voluntary opportunities that prepare students for the rigor of college and provide the chance to earn college credit, saving both time and tuition, as you will see in the data that will be presented to you tonight. Our students are embracing these opportunities and achieving higher levels. Up next is Ms. Basinger, who will present to you our continued data.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Basinger. I'm the Vice Principal at Lodi High School. Over the 23, 24, and 24-25 school years, enrollment in our AP course offerings held steady. Our enrollment grew this school year. We can attribute this growth to a variety of things, including options available due to the implementation of the 7-period school schedule, increased demand in our newer course offerings, rotating course offerings and options, and scheduling allowance for AP teachers to create course additions.
Next slide. Oh, yeah, perfect. Good evening, my name is Beth Osterman, and I teach AP US History. In addition to the 50% increase in college qualifying scores in 2025, there were 53 students who scored at least 1.5 on their exam, with many of them earning multiple scores of 5s. For the last 10 years, we have recognized those students by placing congratulations on their 5 lawn sign to celebrate their accomplishments and recognize them not only within their own family, but within their own community. Next slide, please. In 2025, 22 different AP exams were taken by 431 students for a total of 803 exams, and an impressive 85% of our students took the exam for their AP classes. I am also the lead of the AP professional learning team that we have created this year using the early release hour, and our goals consist of both increasing enrollment in all of our subgroups and sharing strategies to continue improving our pass rate. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Dulce Herrera and I teach AP Spanish Language and Culture. And last year, our students achieved an outstanding 97.6% pass rate on the AP Spanish exam. And in just 1 year, our enrollment in AP Spanish has grown by 162%. 90% of those enrolled have been EO students at some point in their academic journey. And for many, this is the only AP course they can take, as their tight academic schedules often prevent access to AP classes and other subjects. And this course provides a rare and vital opportunity for them to challenge themselves and succeed at a college level. Our plans for the future are to maintain a 90% pass rate while supporting larger more diverse groups of students, and inspire more students to continue into AP Literature. And I believe with your continued support, we can keep building a program that empowers students, celebrates their cultural and linguistic strengths, and prepares them for success beyond high school. For many of our EO students, this course is more than just a milestone in their life. It is proof that they belong in advanced college level classes and that their voices matter. Thank you.
This year, our AP program in social science has seen impressive growth and strong results. As you can see, the social science program offers AP courses at every grade level, in addition to the elective AP psychology that is open to 11th and 12th graders. In AP Human Geography, enrollment for this year is at 120 students, which is our highest amount since we've offered AP Human Geo. Last spring, our AP Human Geo teacher, Ms. Ahmad, spent time with Millswood students during their lunch to share her course with them, and we believe that connection has played a role in the increase in 9th grade enrollment. AP Psychology continues to shine with a 73% pass rate, and enrollment has grown to 89 students this year. Part of Mr. Hillstrom's outreach included visiting classes to personally introduce AP Psychology. These types of personal connections encourage students who might not have been identified as AP to enroll in a rigorous course. These achievements and initiatives show that our AP students and teachers are ready for additional challenges and to grow as they do over the years. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Missy Sellis, and I am the art department head at Lodi High School, and I teach AP two-dimensional portfolio, AP drawing portfolio, and AP 3D dimensional design portfolio. We launched our AP art program in 2021-2022 school year, starting with just drawing in 2D, and it has grown. This year, for the very first time, we're offering our AP art history, which is very exciting. With each new course, student interest has soared. We started with just 12 students, now we have 38 enrolled in AP art and art history, so that's a 316% increase in just a few years. Our AP testing numbers are also rising each year. You can see the last year's data on the screen, both in terms of participation and pass rates, but really what stands out to me the most is who is taking these tests. Many of our AP art students aren't in any other AP course. For many of them, this is their only AP class and their only AP exam. These courses are opening doors for students who might not otherwise step into advanced academics, and that is something I think to be really proud of. Last year, I had a super talented student who was a single AP test taker. She received the highest score on her AP test out of my class, and she was awarded the best in category for advanced graphic and computer design, and best of the best for the whole SJCOE County Art Show. So I think that's also really exciting. I have a lot of future aspirations kind of set up for next year. I have a lot of big ideas for our AP program, and I'm really excited to kind of get started on those. I've got outreach and recruitment plans, providing equitable access to supplies and studio space, and expanding exhibition and portfolio opportunities within the community and the school. With that being said, there's just so much talent waiting to be discovered, and I am super excited for what's ahead, so thank you.
Good evening, my name is Kristen Winterhalter, and I am currently the AP Calculus AB and BC teacher. I'm here to represent our math department, so all of the AP scores that we have currently for our site, and you can see them on the slide. We are very proud of these results. They reflect both our hard work of our students as well as the support of our teachers. Looking ahead, our department is excited about the growth of AP opportunities, especially with AP Pre-Calc. AP Pre-Calc is currently the fastest growing course according to College Board, and we're starting to see it at our sites. We now have two distinct pathways taking AP Pre-Calc as well as Integrated Math 3+, providing opportunities for students to then lead into AP Calculus AB and or BC, giving them more flexibility and access. In addition, our district's work in strengthening our math instruction at all grade levels will continue to open these doors, ensuring more students are prepared and ready to succeed in these AP courses. Thank you for your continued support in helping us build a stronger AP program for all of our students.
Student participation in AP courses is voluntary. And as presented here tonight, our teachers play a vital role in inspiring our students to view AP as a pathway to growth and success. While some courses such as AP Biology, AP Chemistry are not currently offered due to low student requests, we see this as an opportunity to strengthen outreach and spark a new interest. We also recognize that AP enrollment does not yet fully reflect the diversity of our school. To close the opportunity gaps, we're working to broaden our outreach and provide academic support necessary for all students. And thanks to your leadership as a board in removing the financial barriers, AP exams is now more accessible to all students. In addition, our new 7th period schedule further expands flexibility and access, reinforcing our commitment to increasing opportunities here in Lodi Unified School District. As principal of Lodi High School, I believe that these efforts reflect our vision, supporting teachers, empowering students, and fostering a culture of academic excellence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Seeing kids excel in calculus is probably a dream come true for all of you. Does the board have any comment?
Dr. Marone, outstanding. Your AP staff is overwhelming with their results. As a former AP teacher, these scores are way better than I ever did. I think it's incredible. The AP art courses, very invigorating, new, edgy. I like it. What your kids are doing across the board, the rigor that they're attempting to take is incredible. And I just think, big kudos to you. I'm a little sad because I'm a former AP Bio teacher that we don't have AP Bio or AP Chem here. It used to be that the Lodi kids would come over and take it from me when we had the same schedules. But what a fantastic thing for you to draw on from these teachers and how well they've done. Ms. Winterhalter, are you back there somewhere? 100%. You were my oldest son's favorite, is still favorite teacher that he ever had. So thank you so much. He still talks about you even today, even though he's 30 years old. So what the big difference you made in his life. This is an incredible report, and I love what we're doing, and it just shows that any kid, they want to take on the rigor, can succeed because the teachers are there and they're willing to help. And all kids can succeed as long as they have a friendly face and they're willing to take that extra step to help nurture them towards achieving their goals. So outstanding. And I would like to see that science, though. That's kind of something we need to work on. Maybe I should retire and go back to the classroom. You might get worse scores, though, than you won't hang around. But really good. I think, Mr. Young, though, I would like to see Lodi High's killing it. What about our other 3 high schools?
Well, this was a spotlight that we brought. We can certainly do others.
Well,
and,
spotlights can expand.
Yes.
So
Gradually.
I'm really happy with Lodi High, but I'd like to see how we're doing across the board.
I'm not sure how a spotlight turned into pressure for me, but we will work on that.
Congratulations, Lodi High. Good job, well done. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, good. Well, thank you.
Dr. Ball, members of the board, I hear clearly that there's an interest from teachers in seeing ways to help assist in paying for the AP exams, and I have no problem making Dr. Horton and Mr. Lambert and Mr. Dobson figure out ways to assist with that this year as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, I think they'd be glad to take a cut in salary, wouldn't they?
We'll discuss ways that we can do that.
Start there.
Ultimately, April's probably red to my right, figuring out how to do that, but we'll figure it out.
All right, let's continue doing
Well,
it.
thank you so much, everybody. And just like you said, Mr. Porter, this is outstanding. Thank you. Absolutely. We move on to public hearings. We declare the Lodi Unified Supervisory Group reopeners for 2025-26 school year open. Any board comments on this? Any public comments on this? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. We'll move on to our student representatives, and if we can have Samantha give us her report.
Thank you. Thank you, President Ball, members of the board, and Superintendent Young. My name is Samantha Lemonero, and I'm honored to be the ASB president of McNair High School for the 2025 to 2026 school year. We started the school year on a great note with Link Crew giving a grand welcome to our class of 2029. Our dedicated and hardworking Link Crew class hosted our freshman orientation on July 28th, and it was a very memorable and exciting day for the freshmen as they got a chance to get to know their amazing Link Crew leaders and tour around the campus. Our school faced significant flooding in our main building on August 4th, which required teachers and students to transition to distance learning for the entire week. And though it was a surprise to come into our school Monday morning with a flooded main building, despite these challenges, our staff and students adapted quickly and continued instruction online. And though it was difficult, our school persevered and are now glad to be back on campus. Now on to our graduating class of 2026. Despite the flooding incident at the school and much of our posters being ruined, student government managed to put on a successful senior sunrise, which was a beautiful way for our seniors to kick off their last year together. Last Friday, August 15th, Link Crew organized our yearly beach blast party in the small gym. Everyone had a great time with their snow cones and some music. Lastly, we are looking forward to our first coffee with the counselors on August 20th from 8:20 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and later that evening, our back to school night at 5:30 p.m. A perfect opportunity for our McNair families to be involved with the school and get the opportunity to connect with the campus. Now let's take a moment to recognize those who have made this first month of school a success. I want to take this opportunity to express our biggest thanks to the Natural Disaster Company for coming to help restore the school after the flooding, especially the site custodial staff, maintenance and operations staff, ServPro, and several restoration companies. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our McNair staff, teachers, facilities team, admin, and counselors for helping our students smoothly transition back to school life. We couldn't have done it without their efforts in providing us the support that we needed. And a special thank you to our student government, Link Crew, and clubs for their hard work and dedication in organizing our incredible events and activities. Now on to our sports. Our football team takes on Lincoln High School on our turf this Friday, August 22nd. JV kicks off at 5 p.m. followed by varsity at 7 p.m. Our varsity flag football team will battle it out against Argonaut this Wednesday, August 20th. The girls volleyball team will be competing against Tokay on August 27th. It's the first league game of the season, and we wish them the best of luck in their first home game. The girls varsity water polo will face Pleasant Grove September 2nd at 4 p.m. And lastly, the girls varsity tennis team will go against Tokay on September 2nd at 4 p.m. at our courts. And for our upcoming events, due to the flooding, our annual club rush had been rescheduled to this Thursday, August 21st, after school at 3:30 p.m. in the atrium. And in addition to that, our student government also had to reschedule our Welcome Back rally to this Friday, August 22nd. Student government has been working extremely hard to remake all the posters and decorations that were damaged in the flood. This rally has been long awaited due to the flood, so it's going to be big and full of energy. And on September 5th, our health occupation students alongside the American Red Cross will host our fall blood drive from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We are currently experiencing a blood shortage nationwide, making this blood drive extremely important. So please come over to donate your blood if you are able. And as a reminder, we are still the top blood donating high school in California, a title we've held for so long with our fellow local high schools still fail to catch up on. As usual, we're determined to continue leading our streak. And that is all I have for And that is all I have to report for McNair. Once again, I'm Samantha Lamanero, and I'm looking forward to an incredible year ahead.
That was a good job, Samantha. Thank you. We'll move on to Lucas.
Good evening, President Ball, members of the board, and Superintendent Young. My name is Lucas Crowder, and these are my school activities and programs that we've been doing so far this year. Lodi High was one of the schools featured by the district and local news stations to celebrate our first day back to school and welcome students back to campus. Band, along with cheer and drill teams, were ready to greet students in the morning. Lean Crew welcomed our new freshmen during our freshman orientation. They had a great time helping get the freshmen ready for high school. They played games, ran team building activities, and hosted a freshman barbecue. Lean Crew is also starting the freshman check-ins to offer support in their transition into high school. Our student government classroom planned our back-to-school rally, which occurred on August 6th. Our Lodi High students showed up with pride and spirit. It was a great way to kick off the school year, and we appreciated having representatives from the district attending. We also had Back to School Spirit Week, August 4th through 8th. Many students participated, and we had a great time. Club Rush was August 6th through 8th. We are excited to see how many new and continuing clubs we have on campus. There is something for everyone. Senior Summers was a success, which occurred on August 8th. We had our back to school night, August 14th. We had short performances from cheer, drill, and band attending, and Lean Crew helped guide parents to their child's classrooms during back to school night. Members of the Multicultural Club also assisted in welcoming and guiding families to classrooms. They also provided valuable support to Spanish-speaking parents by translating and helping them navigate the event. Their contributions ensured that families felt included and supported through the evening. We will have our college and career planning night Tuesday, August 26th from 5 to 7:30, which will help students understand financial aid, dual enrollment, CSU transfers, and school links. Special student staff accomplishments and recognitions. Recent AP's data shows that over the last 5 years, Lodi has made significant improvements in both the number of AP exams being administered and the number of passing scores. We are looking forward to seeing how our AP program grows. Last Saturday, 85 student volunteers spent their morning contributing to our campus community. Some pruned, weeded, and picked up litter. Others sorted plastic bottles and cans for our recycling program. We also cleared space for a new clothes closet, which will serve our students and their families. For our upcoming events, we are gearing up for our fall sports this week. Football season, we'll be having our first Tokay tailgate tomorrow to get ready for girls flag football and football games this week. We would like to see all of you guys at the Tokay versus Lodi rival game. Our carnival is coming up on September 10th, so we're looking forward to what our clubs are planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. That's great. Yes, Mr. Mel.
Yeah, where's the game being held, Lucas?
The game will be at Tokay High School at 7 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to hear a little bit about themselves.
Yes, please.
What was that, sorry?
A little bit about yourself, what your plans are in your future.
Yeah, so I play baseball for Lodi High School, and I want to go to a 4-year college and hopefully get my degree. And then I want to go into hopefully real estate, and if that doesn't work out, start my own business. But at Lodi, I am in the student government classroom, and we plan lots of things for other students, and we just try our best to welcome kids. And I try to give back to the community as much as possible.
That's nice. Thank you. That's important. Samantha?
Okay. At school, I'm part of clubs like National Honor Society, American Red Cross. I'm part of the Health Careers Academy at my school as well as a part of Link Crew and of course student government. Outside of school, I do play the piano, and sometimes my piano teacher will have me play for local assisted living facilities. Yeah. I also play tennis. I'm the team captain of the girls varsity tennis team. And after high school, I plan on going to a four-year university to study medicine.
Good job. That's great. Thanks for asking that, Mr. Navak. It's always good to aim higher. That's awesome. Well, I am hoping that your school, the student body, is able to get all the posters together in time, and it's you could do it. Good. Well, have fun for the rest of the school, and we'll see you around again. Good reports. Thank you. We have our superintendent report.
Dr. Ball, members of the board, I too want to extend my sincere thanks to everyone who worked tirelessly to reopen McNair. I know it wasn't just our staff dedicated to that job, but it was also companies rallying around us to assist with that, and so I'm very thankful. I also definitely want to say thank you to the McNair teachers, support staff, and administrative team. Your flexibility and swift pivot to remote learning was remarkable. Even as classrooms were being set back up, restoration efforts were still underway. Teachers, your dedication made it possible for students to return quickly, which was critical. Thankfully, the second air quality testing done by the industrial hygienist just 3 days ago confirmed that the school is safe for our students and our staff. However, I understand concerns that have arisen by some classroom teachers, and I want to assure you that staff will respond promptly. Please report any issues directly to the plant supervisor or principal so they can either A, address them or get the proper people there to assist. We were glad to provide breakfast treats for McNair staff on reopening day, and we'll be doing something similar for our M&O and F&P team once they get a well-deserved breather after their long hours and many straight days, which included evenings and the weekend. I also want to extend my gratitude for the numerous construction and restoration companies, as I said before. Lastly, and I know is brought up, that our annual college and career night will be at Lodi High. The main exhibit hall will be in Milas Gym from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Great opportunity for families and students to visit college and career areas and technical programs as well. From 5 to 7 in the South Gym, those will also be occurring, and those are great topics like dual enrollment or our new school links to assist students as they're planning out their futures, financial aid, and CSU transfer agreements if a student attends a junior college. I have nothing further to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Neil. Do we have any public comments on consent agenda A? The public may address the board on consent agenda A routine business. Each public speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. Please do state your first and last name before starting.
Good evening, President Dr. Ball, members of the board, members, Superintendent Young. Yes, so a couple things. In A1, the contracts list, you have a contract for ETS to try to recruit, $100,000 to try to recruit teachers from foreign lands, foreign countries, especially in special ed. While I have no objection to getting foreign teachers, there are several issues with this, especially in the current political environment, and I'm going to let my colleagues speak to some other issues. I don't know if you knew this, but teachers recruited by ETS in Maui from the Philippines had their house raided by ICE. It was terrifying for them. I am half Filipino. I'm very tied into the Filipino community, and I'm also, my mother's from Hawaii, I'm very tied into the Hawaiian community. And when I read the accounts of what these people went through in Hawaii, one of the most diverse states in our union, I can only imagine what could happen here. So if you're going to recruit teachers from the Philippines other Asian countries, Central America. This is where Stockton Unified got many of their teachers that they got through ETS. How are we going to provide for their safety? That's got to be a guarantee. Secondly, on A7, again, we're having a communication specialist job description. This, again, is a promotion from someone within the district office. It's very interesting that I've been following how many district employees get increases in pay and title, where teachers can't even get retro pay of a measly 1% for 24-25. Nor have we been allowed to let our teachers who get health insurance outside of the district, maybe through a spouse, to share in the one-time monies that were in the contract. If you're going to give us one-time monies, LEA should have a say in how we distribute it. Thank you.
Hi, members of the board, Dr. Ball, Superintendent Young. Thank you for reading my emails. Thank you, Dr. Ball, for asking me to send the emails, and I apologize if that took way too long for you to read. But you made my wife happy because she didn't have to listen to me rant. I just wanted to speak about the teachers. I remember what Mr. Porter said about taking extreme measures to fulfill our special ed teachers' vacancy problems, and I totally agree that we need to take extreme measures. I work with a lot of people in recovery in my other job, and sometimes I notice that when people are really struggling with a problem, they like to take extreme measures before they do the simple measures. And some of the simple measures might be to increase our current recruitment, to follow what companies that we're paying for do, like Emergis. They pay somebody to walk alongside a person from the moment they contact them to the moment they enter their door. And that's why they're very successful at getting their parents in our doors. I think it would be a better investment. I already shared with you about some of the drawbacks about having somebody from another nation come. It's great to have people from other nations. We work with a wide, diverse population, and that's wonderful. But I would hate for somebody to have to be advocating and be concerned about their status in this country. And sadly, I work with a resident. I'm so excited that she's working with us. She's great. I really hope this year goes great and that she becomes a teacher for us. She's still not approved to sub in the district. She's been with us. We've known about her since July. We haven't finished all the proper processes to get her to be a sub. Those are things that we should fix with that money, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the board like to pull any items from the consent agenda A? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
I move we approve all consent agenda A.
Second.
Thank you. Can we have a student vote for this, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And a board vote.
Okay.
Thank you. Motion passes 6 yes and 1 absent. We have public comments on other action items. The public may address the board on other action items, and each speaker shall have 3 minutes. Please say your first and last name as you address the board.
Good evening, President Val, members of the board, Superintendent Young, Rodrigo Contreras, CSE Lodi 77 Chapter President. My comment tonight is on the other action item 4, proposed changes to utility and grounds. I would like to thank Superintendent Young for addressing the community's concerns on facilities and grounds. Utility workers at high schools is an essential job that should have never been cut, leading to the condition in which our schools are currently in. If this action item is passed, they will once again help with the maintenance of their campuses. However, our key employees that I do not see anymore is someone to make it and keep it green. Our community deserves safe campuses where our students can learn and play. I encourage Superintendent Young to further research within employees how we can best address the community's concerns to make it and keep it green. Our own irrigation professionals. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to our other action items. Item OAI1 is a resolution 2025-110, emergency work at Ronald E. McNair High School. Ms. Holberg.
Good evening, Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young. Before you for consideration is a resolution in response to our McNair flooding for your consideration.
Thank you. Any student comments on this? Any board comments? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion, please.
I move we approve.
Second.
Thank you. Can I have student vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And a board vote, please. Thank you. Motion passes 6 yes and 1 absent. We have item OAI2. It's AB 1200, documents for Lodi Unified School District Employee Group. Fund 13, Nutrition Services, CSCA. Ms. Suarez.
Thank you, Dr. Ball. President Dr. Ball, members of the board, before you is the statutory public disclosure of the collective bargaining agreement for Classified School Employees Association pertaining to the re-range of the certain nutrition services positions. The total impact, fiscal impact on the district's cafeteria fund is approximately $187,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any student comments on this? Any board comments?
I move we approve.
Second.
Thank you. Student vote, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And board vote. Thanks. Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent. Item OAI 3, ratification of the Memorandum of Understanding with California School Employees Association, Nutrition Services, job descriptions. Ms. George.
President Ball, members of the board, before you is the memo of understanding with CSEA for the nutrition services, new nutrition services job descriptions.
Any student comments for this? Any board comments?
I move we approve.
Thank you. And can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thanks. And a student vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And a board vote, please. Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent. Item OAI 4, approval to add 4 FTE utility workers for an addition of 1 FTE utility worker per comprehensive high school. Mr. Young.
Yes, Dr. Ball, members of the board, about this last time as a report, we were looking at the time at 2 different pieces. One was to add 1 utility worker to each of the 4 comprehensive high schools. Second part was going to be to add 2 groundskeepers, 1 in each area, to look at dealing with sprinklers. At this time, I'm only bringing the 4 positions which will work at the comprehensive high schools to assist with the grounds and the facilities. The second piece, I will be working with a lot of people, including Mrs. Holbert, Mr. Patty, getting input from sites, getting input from CSEA to look at putting in place a standard operating procedure that we can implement so there's consistency at school sites for our facilities and our grounds. The first phase will be grounds. That'll be a major push, and part of that too is looking at our current staffing and looking at putting a plan in place that provides the proper staffing for the needs of a district with so many school sites. So before you this evening, I am seeking approval for the addition of the 4 positions, which are utility workers.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Do we have student comments? Any board comments?
Yes, I'll just follow up this. You will have a plan for the remaining schools in the district to have additional resources to make sure we can make repairs.
That is part of putting a plan together, putting the standard operating procedures together, and ultimately the plan is to address needs as they pop up at every one of our schools. So yes.
Thank you.
So there's a possibility of adding personnel?
That is to be determined because we need to go through an audit and look at what we have in place and what we need to put in place.
Assessment.
Correct.
Thank you. Any other board comments?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Can I have a second,
Second.
please? Thanks. Student vote?
Aye.
Thanks. And a board vote, please. Board vote. We can start with Ms. Lenderman, please.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent. We have some reports here. Can we have comments from the public on reports? The public may address the board on reports. Each public speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. Please say your first and last name.
My name is Rebecca Bratcher, special ed teacher over at Beckman. Good evening, board members and Mr. Young. I wanted to express my gratitude for the opportunity to discuss the special education department during the board meeting of July 15th. As a dedicated special education teacher for 15 years and a proud member of this district for the past decade, I was eager to explore ways to enhance our program. However, I must admit that I was disheartened by the report compiled by Mr. Warden, and it seems to reflect a mere acknowledgement of our special education department efforts rather than addressing some of the significant issues that require attention. The shortage of special education teachers and staff in our district is concerning. Often when parents are informed that their children are being placed in SDC classrooms, they are told that they are a smaller class size, but yet these classes maintain 15 to 17 students. And in elementary and mild moderate, this does not constitute a smaller class. Additionally, the claim that our student to adult ratio is overstaffed contradicts the need for more inclusion in general education. We cannot successfully include students in general education without adequate support. One of the major flaws I observed in the report is the lack of involvement from my peers and I in the data collection process. It appears that we were merely treated as data points, and many special education teachers wanted to be involved in the process of this exploratory report. The proposed actions do not address the challenges we face on the ground level in special education, focusing instead on the district level issues. I also noticed that very few of Ms. Linderman's questions were answered in this report. Thank you for considering my perspective on the critical matter. I look forward to further discussion on how we can improve our special education department.
Dr. Ball, Mr. Young, members of the board, and my name is Bill Yates. I'm forgot to say that last time, I think. And I'm here representing LEA Special Education, and I would just like all the special education teachers who are here to stand up. When I was in Santa Cruz, during that July meeting, I had to watch because I was so excited by your questions. And I was so moved by what I heard and your connection with the parents that come up before you. I want to remind you that the majority of those parents have students with extensive needs. And I didn't see that in the report. We care, you care, everybody there cares. I get it. It's not about lack of caring, it's about what answers do we think. The problem I see with the report is, as special ed teachers, we're told to be responsible, ultimately responsible for our students. I wear padding, I wear all kinds of things to make sure that my students are safe and they can learn. In this report, I see that most of the burden is going to fall on our gen ed teachers. And I think we should have started as a special ed department to just look at ourselves. I do agree that MTSS needs to work, that students should be in their least restrictive environment. All those things are really great, and I think we should keep working on that. But I don't think we address the problem that caused the crisis. It's not a either or, it's both. And I thought I was hearing a desire to go for the gusto, to try new and exciting and crazy things, to just try to fix this issue for those students who most need it. Now, again, this isn't about caring. Every person in that special ed department cares about their student. Every teacher over here cares about the student. It's not about caring. It's about data-driven conclusions. What will last for a long time, way past us. And I just hope that this night is the beginning and not the end. Because if this is the end, it'll be very disappointing. This has got to be the beginning. We got to keep looking, keep digging, and please keep. Dr. Ball, you said something amazing a couple years ago. Not years ago. Just feels like years. When that art exhibit came, and you said, "I learned tonight that Mr. Young will do what I say." It was a joke, but it's true. They will do what you say. So please hold them accountable. Thank you.
Lisa Lennon Wilkins, President, Lodi Education Association. President Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young. My colleagues said a lot of what I wanted to say. I was so excited about Mrs. Lenderman's interest and her passion around this, and this report doesn't reflect, I think, what she aimed to accomplish. I am a parent of a student who had an IEP, who spent time in a non-public school, and I understand the issues as a parent and as a teacher of these kids. And what I kept seeing here is you keep asking general ed teachers to do more and more and more and more and more. I'm even hearing from some of my teachers that they feel that when they recommend a student for a higher level of service under MTSS, that they get blocked. I've heard from teachers that said that, oh, we can't qualify a student because they're too young. When all the research says the younger you get them, the younger you do an intervention, the better the outcome. I don't see any of that reflected here. That's what I was hoping to see. So I'm going to say that I disagree. I don't understand where he got the numbers of of special ed students. I think he might be including students who are general ed but might get a service such as occupational therapy or speech therapy. They're not in an RSP or an STC classroom. I think we need to get some more granularity there because I think that's misleading. But I do want to see us do what needs to be done for these kids. If they need to get qualified and they're a TK or a kindergarten student, qualify them. Let's get them the services. Let's work with Valley Regional. Let's work with whoever we need to, because there's other resources out there. But to just basically say, well, this is the same old, same old. There's nothing in here that I haven't seen in the 24 years I've worked in this, or 22 years I've worked in this district. And that's really disappointing to me. So if we're going to be brave and we're going to be bold and we're going to tackle this, then let's not be afraid of what the truth is, and let's take a look at it and tackle it with a sense of honesty and a sense of earnestness. Thank you.
Thank you all. Do we have any student comments on this report? Thank you. How about board comments?
I do. Is he going to go over his presentation first?
Yeah,
want us to? Yeah, that would be
absolutely
helpful.
Ms. Warren?
Yes.
President Ball, members of the board, Mr. Young, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Paul Warren. I'm the SELPA director. And with me is Aaron Aiken, who's a special ed director. So what we're going to do is update on 20-year trends, some of our current challenges in special ed, and some proposed actions to strengthen special ed in Lodi Unified.
Thank you. So over the last 2 decades, special education enrollment increased by 25%, despite an 11% overall district enrollment decline. Lodi USD currently serves 18.2% of its students in special education, compared to the state average of 13.7%, which is about 1,049 students more than the state average for a district our size. The rise is consistent across all eligibility categories, but the most notable growth has been in autism, which has increased by 928%. We use the FICMAT efficiency tool to benchmark staffing against industry standards. The findings show that our preschool and K-12 staffing ratios are within or better than industry standards. Next slide, please. Although we have seen growth in all disability categories, the most dramatic growth again has been with autism eligibility, which increased by 928% over 2 decades. Schools are seeing a rise in socio-behavioral challenges among students, leading to increased referrals for special education evaluation. We believe that caseload increases correlate with MTSS gaps at the Tier 1 and Tier 2 levels, highlighting the importance of strengthening general education support. Students can sometimes demonstrate learning gaps that resemble a disability, but often these reflect differences in instructional exposure rather than an underlying disability. Special education is increasingly regarded by educators and families as an intervention option, and families are demonstrating greater openness to these services. Special education has increasingly become a mechanism for addressing academic and behavioral challenges that with robust Tier 1 and 2 supports could be met within the general education setting. Variability in evaluation practices across sites, including how data are interpreted, can result in differences and inconsistencies in eligibility determinations. The increased availability of general education assessment data has led to more early referrals, some of which may occur before students have had sufficient time with Tier 1 and Tier 2 supports. Next slide, please.
So these are some of the things that we have been involved with. One is collaboration alignment. We've been working with educational services. This has been overseen by David Horton and the instructional team. We're trying to align MTSS and really work on creating fidelity in how we are implementing MTSS as a district. And this is something we've been working on for the last couple of years. And currently there are several cohorts that we're working with administrators and other groups to help push that out and to strengthen those efforts. One of the things that we're doing as a district, upon discovering some of this information at the end of last year, we began focusing and developing cohort groups with our school psychologists and with our speech language pathologists. That is ongoing. We have a coordinator who oversees both of those groups who has been the kind of the driving force behind those cohort meetings. And we're really working on identifying some of the subjective ways that eligibility is happening and trying to really create some common and consistent practices across the district and how we make determinations for special ed, particularly in the areas of other health impairment, autism, specific learning disability, and emotional disability. One of the things I want to emphasize, and if we could go to slide 23. Yeah, it's almost the last one. Not the last one. One more. Yep, you're right, sorry. So when it comes to eligibility for special ed, there are 3 prongs that determine that eligibility, and all of these prongs have to be met. One is they have to have the presence of a disability, and it has to be one of the 13 categories under the federal special education law. There has to be an adverse effect. And the 3rd prong is that the student must require specialized designed instruction. And if you can go to the next slide. So when we're looking at what specially designed instruction is, it is modified content, modified methodology, modified delivery of instruction. It is basically modified instruction. It is different than an accommodation. Accommodations are provided to help students access learning without modification, without altering any of those areas. So when we're looking at eligibility, even though a student may have a disability and meet the criteria, even though there may be an adverse impact at school, this prong must also be met. And one of the things that's been happening in our school district for many years is we have been increasing the number of general education supports that we have in our district. And so we have more access to interventions, mental health, SIPs, early literacy, and we have a lot of different interventions that are available. And many of those interventions may be more appropriate for some of these kids. So anyhow, that is one of the approaches that we're working with our groups, is that when they're doing that analysis to determine eligibility, that they are really considering that 3rd prong of eligibility to ensure that a student's needs cannot be met with general education supports. Okay, if you could go ahead and go back to the slide we were on before. Yeah, yeah, right there. So one of the other things that we're doing, and this has been ongoing, we provide quarterly compliance audits. We send information to teachers looking at timelines, our annual timelines being met for IEPs, for triennials. That is something that we do. That is something that the Department of Education monitors on a regular basis. Another thing is that we have regular special education meetings in which we talk about legal compliance, updates, and it's done to help our teachers know what's going on. You know, there are seasonal things that we address in those meetings to help support, provide guidance to our teachers. Next slide. So as far as proposed actions, the first one is something we feel is missing in our district. We have implemented new curriculum over the last couple of years, and we really don't have curriculum support. That is something that is really important. And what we're finding is that when those curriculum are being implemented by our teachers, it dramatically helps increase the quality of instruction. It helps the teachers with modifications. It helps with a number of different things like IEP writing, goal writing, etc. But that is one of the areas that we are missing support, is that, and that was why we recommended that. The other items are things that we feel could help support teachers on the general education side to help support them with some of the challenges that they face. I think that one of the misconceptions about special education is that it is an intervention, and I heard that tonight. It is not an intervention. It is specialized designed instruction. It is modified instruction. It's not intended to be provided for students to help them catch up per se. It may help kids catch up. That could be what is, what happens with that support. But special education is not intended to be an intervention. It is modified curriculum for students who meet disability eligibility requirements. And I think that is one of the challenges that we're facing in this district, is that many people are interpreting special education as an intervention. And anyway, so I think that is, go through. We talked about an inclusion coach. One of the challenges we're having with kids with autism is kind of that transition from preschool to kinder, really getting support, or kids that have had nothing to be able to transition into the public school system. An inclusion coach on the general education side can help special or general education teachers as they are working with kids that are having with this disability to help support them and maybe even prevent them from needing to be in special education. Developing ongoing district-wide general education supports for students not eligible for special education but who still face learning challenges. There are kids who don't meet the eligibility requirement but may have academic or other struggles that they may have. We need to have those supports in place for those kids so that they are able to get those supports even though they may not qualify for special ed. We specifically put something for secondary level. A lot of times we have had kids that when they're in middle school or high school, they may not qualify for special education, but because of the support they've had, they really don't have a soft landing place. So we see that that is a need that exists for some of these kids who are transitioning out of special ed, or even for some of those kids who don't qualify but need that ongoing support. And then finally, strengthen general education behavioral and instructional practices for struggling students. I think it's not about doing more, I think it's about doing different things and finding different ways that we can help support kids. Some kids have very unique needs that require very unique behavioral interventions. And I think that the more we're able to work and help teachers with those skills and with some of those tools for their toolkits, that will help them as they're dealing with some of these unique students with unique issues. I think that is it. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have a lot because this is an area that I feel very weak in. Excuse my ignorance. Ms. Aiken, you talked about Tier 1, Tier 2 intervention. I have an idea of what a Tier 1 intervention is in my classroom. Can you explain what your feeling is of what Tier 1 is? Because you said here, inconsistent Tier 1, Tier 2, I'm on slide 3. Tier 1, Tier 2 interventions across schools.
Yes, I would consider Tier 1 interventions to be that of differentiated instruction, universal design lesson planning, working with students, for example, if you have a student with some sensory needs, to have the fidgets available to them, the breaks that are already in the classroom, So really a lot of working more with the accommodations that are really helpful to many students across the board would be your tier 1. Tier 2 would be more the focused interventions on the student that they know are struggling based on formal or informal assessments. For example, if I'm looking at the elementary side for a student that's in SIPS and targeting a specific area that they're showing a weakness in, that they already need a targeted intervention. So not just a splatter, let's give you some help kind of intervention, it really needs to be targeted.
So when you use tier 1, tier 2, you're talking about what's in an IEP?
No.
Okay, good. I was just trying to make sure I'm on the same path as you. With the 7-period day at the high school level, would we be using tier 2 for that extra period?
That's what we envision, yes.
That's what you envision. And again, it would be working with your, oh, I'm sorry. I thought Mr. Young was admonishing me. Felt like I was back in Catholic school getting yelled at. Anyway, so your tier 2 then would be for the intervention classes. Tier 1 would be happening in the classroom. And those students that need it, of course, wouldn't the general ed teacher be the one that's responsible for? So how does that fall under your bill of wax? I'm confused here on that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. There's talking behind me, so could you repeat that, please?
Sure, I'm sorry that's happening too. I think with tier 1, that would be with the teacher in the classroom. So they should have within them the ability to deal with that. Is that correct?
Yes, so even embedded in a lot of our curriculums are supports that are already with it. For example, there's already supports embedded in our curriculum for English language learners. Oftentimes you'll find the same supports that are very successful for English language learners are very successful for students who are also struggling academically.
Right.
Regardless of a disability or not.
Right. And then tier 2, of course, you said would be falling in an intervention classroom.
It could be a combination. So really tier 3, I would consider more of tier 3 to be that of a tier 2, tier 3 to be an academic support type of class. For example, the secondary level for our students with disabilities, they do qualify and often participate in what we call study skills. So it would be something very comparable to that can help support our students either on 504 plans or individuals who do not qualify via an IEP that need academic support.
Okay.
Could I add one thing?
Sure.
I think it's important when you're looking at tier 1 and tier 2, you're not just looking through the lens of academics. It's behavior.
Well, unfortunately,
it's social
I am.
emotional.
That's when you use tier 1, 2. That's why I wanted to ask the question.
So, I mean, as she's describing, those could be academic, but there are a number of different types of general education interventions that are available for kids as well. That some, tier 1 that would be accessible to everybody, and some that would need more focus.
Right. Okay, because I was thinking academically, and I wanted to make sure I was on the right path with you. Could you explain to me why you think, obviously we have a high percentage of students that are fall under special ed, why that is occurring? It's a general question, but why are we so 5 percentage points ahead of the state?
I mean, that's what we've been racking our brains about for the last 6 months, is why, when we came to that realization that we were so high, we were really starting to look at it from a variety of different ways. What's happening on the intervention side in general education, but also what's happening, when it comes to our assessors, making those determinations. Why are so many people qualifying disproportionately to other districts?
Right. Now,
So anyhow, I mean, we're trying to address it on both sides. I think that if we're to state what our conclusion is, it's that we need more robust interventions and maybe more time. And we also need to have more consistent practices when it comes to our assessments for special ed.
Okay. Thank you. Just one last question. You said you're looking at TK, pre-K, and K. You identified that age level?
Yes.
Would that be severely or tier 1, tier 2?
Do you want to answer or do you want me to answer?
Because I mean, like I said, I'm trying to.
No, it's not a bad question.
Yeah.
Yeah, special education actually goes from the age of birth to the age of 22, so we are responsible for identifying students.
Right.
Oftentimes, more frequently, we're getting students at about the age of 3 that come to us via Valley Mountain Regional Center, through their physicians. Oftentimes, those students, they are assessed if there is a suspicion of a disability. They typically, if they do qualify, do need pretty robust support and services.
Right.
But we do service students in preschool that are in general education preschools and receive what we call itinerant support, which is comparable to that of like an RSP student.
Okay, so that's amazing to me that if we can go to that age group. You asked about possible actions. You said additional instructional coaches. How many are you looking at?
In my professional opinion,
Yes.
if to really do it right, we would need two. And the
You need
reason
at
why I
least
state two is that I feel that there needs to be one that's dedicated to our mod severe structure population with our new curriculum that was just approved by the board Everway. And then also a curriculum coach, an instructional coach that can help support that of our mild mod curriculum, our supplemental curriculum within mild mod that was also board approved to help support our students with moderate disabilities and mild disabilities.
So you said two that you need.
That would be my wish list, yes.
Wish list. And then I had one last question. I know that some school districts have people that just write IEPs. Are we doing that here? And are we using AI on the IEPs?
We are not, we are not having people who are just dedicated to writing IEPs. Although we do have an assessment team.
Please, when we're talking, it's best that everybody tries to listen. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have an assessment team that helps support interns, subs, and other groups, and they will write the IEPs. But for our credentialed teachers, they're expected to write their own IEPs. As far as artificial intelligence goes, that is something that we are looking into. We're exploring AI for psych reports. We're looking at it for goal writing. So that's something that we've been looking at this year.
Yeah, I think this is, for me, I'm learning. I love to learn. You also talked about an inclusion coach for autism, which of course now with the new different ways that we, I believe, evaluate it, we're getting more and more kids on the autism level. So if you, I would like to see a wish list of who you need where, and then maybe we could cut some other areas and be able to take care of you. Because this is a righteous program for me, and we need to help these students. And again, I need to learn more about it, and so that's on me to get to that level. I was at the secondary level, so I relied a lot on pairs. So, of course, development of more pairs, more specialized, and so forth. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Ms. Ramirez?
Sure.
It's okay.
Miss,
We're going
back.
board member. It's for you.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. While I appreciate the effort to get this discussion started, because I had a very large ask, I hope that this is not the only report or the end of this. So thank you for starting to pull this data. But I definitely want to point out that the proposed actions lack clear accountability and designated ownership, measurable outcomes. I know this isn't the first time I've asked that. Without those elements, it's difficult to assess whether those strategies are effective, and especially when we're problem solving and saying we're finding root cause. I want to make sure that that is linked to those trends and that information, right? But more importantly, when we're saying within specification, right, and we're looking at all schools in aggregate, I really want to caution against aggregate data. I wish those AP calculus and math teachers were still here. The dangers of aggregate figures really could lead to critical disparities, inconsistencies, and systemic issues, especially for sites, minorities, and that subgroup equity is really important to look at. It also affects our problem-solving capabilities. As an engineer, right, we have to be able to discern the data. We do want to look big picture. We also want to look at the why, how we got to where we are. I love the 5 why process. Not saying that this is the only discussion, this is the only problem start. I love that you are starting on something, that you have something in place, that you're going to put these actions. But at least for me, I want to know when, who's responsible, how they're going to do this, what is that timeline when I can follow up again, right? And say, how are we doing? Additionally, love to see the more data, deeper dive, and making sure that you get voice of the customer, i.e. That would be anyone like parents, staff, administrators, district people. It could be community members, it could be students, but the why we're here, right, is making sure we're solving that problem with a holistic view and not just one single lens.
Yeah. We do have additional data and we can share that data. And we do have it broken down by site, and we have some other, we do have additional data that we can share with the board.
Thank you.
Mine's more of a comment. First thing I heard this morning was about inclusion with preschool and TK. My wife does it at the county office of ed. In fact, there's a lot of the teachers here because they go to trainings with her. And my sister does IEPs. She came out of retirement. And so, I don't know if she just writes them or just does them. Maybe she takes the written ones. But I know for a fact she doesn't use AI because she doesn't want to. Doesn't know how yet. But anyway, I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about Dorothy Mann School. Is it Mann? I'm not sure.
That's our infant preschool program.
Yes, so I've been out there and my wife's been out there a lot. So anyway, and I saw some of the very young infants going in there, talked with staff there. And so, and the county office has a very good opinion of that school, making inclusion for the very young kids and starting early, because I hear that probably every day. The earlier you start something, the earlier you can solve the problem. So anyway, thank you. I just wanted to throw that out.
Thank you, Mr. Stru.
I just have one question. What kind of support are you giving teachers in general education? You said you need to support the secondary level. What are you doing on that?
Special education doesn't specifically support general education. These were really more recommendations based on trends we're seeing in the number of students that are qualifying for special ed and the types of supports that might prevent that.
But we do mainstream, don't you?
Yes, we do mainstream.
Well, that's with the general education. For example, I'm a teacher and I get several from the special ed department. Do I get any help or any training or anything?
I don't know. Are we supposed to answer that, or are they
Well,
supposed to?
no,
Thank you,
I'm
Mr.
asking you guys. I'm not asking the audience. I'm asking you.
Okay. So, everything when it comes to an IEP is individualized. So it depends on the student, what the student's needs are. We have, how many additional adult support do we have in the district?
160.
160. So we have 160 additional adult support. We have classroom paras. So, that's how that kind of support is needed. If someone needs to go with that person, the teacher and that IEP team would make that determination as to what that would look like.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Do you want to say something?
First and foremost, thank you for putting this together, and thank you to all the teachers who are giving up their evenings to be here to show your care and concern, which just being in special ed, I know that it is what Mr. Yates said, we all care deeply. I did have, the way I'm reading when I said your proposal, and it says add additional coaches, but then it says inclusion coach, but you said two, I'm mistaken. Are you thinking, I don't know, I just was thinking, is that three? Or?
So it's two very distinct things.
Right.
So an instructional coach would be that of somebody who would help support with the curriculum. On the general ed side, we have instructional coaches who help support in ELA, math, science. We do not have anything like that to help support our special education teachers for implementing the district adopted curriculum. So it would be curriculum specific type of coach like we have on the general education side. The inclusion coach, however, is an individual who helps assist with general education staff on how to work with students with disabilities in their classroom, the various needs that a student might require. Yes, we did put in there for students with autism, but oftentimes the supports that a student with autism requires are supports that are very universal that can help many students that are struggling. And so that's where that support on that general ed side of really understanding how to work with students with various disabilities.
Awesome. I see this kind of as a twofold in how we approach this. I've been around long enough to see programs go to the wayside. GLAD programs, tech labs, ARBIT, I just keep saying it. Where the foundations of these programs were not strong. And when you don't have a strong foundation, things crumble after. So we've opened this up, thank you for that, because I feel like we need to start with a very strong foundation and everybody on board. But I also think we have an immediate problem where we have students and staff who are not feeling supported, who are not feeling like they are getting the help that they need. And that to me is an immediate problem. Something that maybe we can address and look at for what the needs are, meeting with the stakeholders to say, besides, I know more people, I'm talking and people keep saying, let's do creative, let's do fabulous. I'm all for that, but we've got to have a strong foundation. So I'm not putting the brakes on anything. I just want a strong foundation that we can build on, and I don't want a Band-Aid anymore. I don't want it the corner left out of something that we have to keep going back and repairing over and over. And Beckman people, you know what I'm talking about because I was there today. So yes, let's build a foundation on this, but let's get some immediate help to our support for our students and our teachers.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Board, for your kind comments, and your report is thorough and I sincerely appreciate it. My question, as it's a quick one, is when we talk about the support that needs to be obviously provided, do we have some kind of a fiscal impact to the district that we have considered? And is it something that is coming from within, or is it needing from outside?
I mean, we always have to think about fiscal impact. With special education, it's difficult because there is a legal requirement to meet whatever is on the IEP. And so, but part of the guiding principles, legal principles of special education is least restrictive environment. And so, even though it's not a fiscal protection, there is the intent that we are only supposed to provide what students absolutely need to be able to make progress on their goals in their IEP. We are only supposed to provide what services, what supports they need. And I'll tell you from an ethical standpoint, I personally worry that sometimes we do too much for kids and we potentially weaken kids by providing them with supports that they don't need. Now, all of those decisions, those are individually determined in an IEP. When it comes to district resources, we will have a program specialist or a coordinator who will go, and we do have processes in place to ensure that some specific services are needed, like going to a non-public school, getting additional adult support for a student or more than one student. So we always try to vet these things before we go into an IEP so that we're ensuring that we're providing only the services that a student needs. But with these costs is always a fiscal balancing act. But I don't think Aaron or myself has any interest in not providing services or supports to kids that are needed in their IEP. I think we just want to make sure that they're appropriate and that they're needed.
Well, thank you. Appreciate, and I'm sure everybody appreciates this report, and there's more to come, I'm sure. Thank you. All right. We'll move on to Board Advisory Committee reports. Do we have any Board Advisory Committee reports? And seeing none, we'll move on to our comments from the public. A 20-minute time period is allocated for public to address the board on matters not listed on the agenda. Each speaker is limited to a certain amount of time, but we have 10 speakers, and in order to give everybody a chance in these 21 minutes, 20 minutes. I am going to request the time, if the board is okay with it, to be for 2 minutes. So everybody gets a chance to speak. Is that okay? Okay, so each speaker is limited to 2 minutes, and if there are, of course, numerous speakers, like today, we are reducing it to 2. To share materials with the board, please provide them to the staff for distribution. Due to restrictions under California Brown Act, the board cannot engage in discussion regarding public comments. Please state your first and last name before you start, and the timer will be set to 2, so if you have something you've written and it's 3 minutes long, I'm going to request you to shorten it, so you're not getting an evil eye from people who are waiting. All right, thank you. Shannon Hagen.
Good evening, Board President, Dr. Ball, board members, and Superintendent Young. I'm here to speak about the flooding at McNair. At 7:50 on Monday, August 4th, I learned we were moving to remote learning. By 8:30, teachers were shifting to remote learning and hosting Google Meets within the hour. Like 2 years ago, we pivoted immediately to ensure that our kids had access to their education. Obviously, we know that remote learning is not ideal, but we did the best we could without complaint. 7 days later, we were back in person with little to no time for those affected by the flooding to prepare their rooms. Rather than show appreciation to the teachers for the Herculean effort it takes to do what we did, the district gave us notification after 5 o'clock on a Friday that we were to return to work on Monday with students. Teachers were graciously offered the opportunity to time card so long as they could come in on Sunday between 10 and 4 to prepare. By the way, many of the rooms were still under construction at 3 p.m. that same day, 3:30. No concern was given for teachers who had plans, cancel, or hope for the best on Monday. Meanwhile, a teacher noted that our superintendent seemed quite irritated when his Sunday plans were interrupted because our teachers reached out and thought he should witness what he sent them back to work in. On Monday, there were classrooms without working outlets and without working phones. We do not have emergency call buttons. Our emergency line is our phone, so clearly the district was not concerned about our ability to call for help in case of an emergency. How is that safe? And to address what was said to reporters regarding these phones, to imply that your professional educators did not realize their phones needed to be plugged in order to work is insulting. And then to give the comment on an interview for public broadcast, that is harmful. There's no justification for those comments, as it reveals that either Mr. Young, 1, believes his teachers are incompetent, or 2, that he would rather the public have a poor opinion of teachers than acknowledge the district did not do their due diligence to ensure that the classrooms were in fact ready for students to return to class. To be clear, I am only angry at the decision makers. I am frustrated. We have nothing but gratitude for anyone working at our site. They were rock stars. We know our custodial staff and the crews were put under even more pressure than we were. The safety standards that we returned to maybe met standards, but it was the bare minimum, and our students deserve more than the bare minimum safety standards, as does our staff. I know Mr. Young will have the final say and the chance to rebut all of these claims, but whatever the explanations or justifications are, it doesn't make our experiences any less true and our concerns any less valid. By the way, on Friday, we had our first confirmed case of mold in an affected classroom. So obviously, it was not fully taken care of. Though I appreciate the recognition from earlier, the words of gratitude fall flat. The district's actions show they don't value our work and our commitment to our students. In reality, the district sees our dedication to them as weakness, as a tool to weaponize against us. All I can ask is do better. Stop making bad situations worse. Treat us with the same respect you say you have for us.
I'm going to respectfully ask everybody to please keep to 2 minutes. I appreciate that, and I hope you'll respect everybody at this time. Ron Heberly.
Good evening, board. Nice to see you, Ron Heberly in Lodi. I came to tell you that at Vinewood, work is progressing slowly, painfully slowly, and it is extremely distracting to our students. If that isn't enough, the last I heard is that the bus pullout, which is going to be constructed on the east property line of the school, is going to start construction on Monday, August 25th. This tells me that the construction schedule is more important than the educational environment. They don't need any more construction at that school this school year. Overall plan for Vinewood, in my opinion, and I'm respectfully asking that we take a pause, finish what you've got going, don't start any more projects. Enough is enough for these kids. We need to pause the plans, revisit them, and if we need to, reevaluate them. These plans came from a previous administration, and I hope you all know who I'm talking about, with very little input. And there are several school sites that fall into this category. I'm not even going to bring up Lodi Middle School. I'll do that another day. My example for Vinewood is this. The kids get new concrete walkways, they get new bus pullout, they get a new parking lot, but the 4 25-year-old to 30-year-old portables stay. That is not the spirit of Measure U, and that is exactly why I'm asking that we reevaluate the original plans for Vinewood as well as other schools was to get rid of the portables and have permanent construction on the site. And that's what I'm asking is, again, in recapping, we need to pause the plans that we've got and relook at these. You'll have a lot better flow if you include the people who are working there and the community around it. Thank you.
Bill Yates.
Dr. Ball, members of the board, Mr. Young, I'm tired. So my friend is here tonight, Ms. Fregoso, who does not do public speaking. When she started this year, the day before she started a year, the 4 support members that she thought she was going to get went down to 2. Then the next day she was told that she would get another student, so she got 1 more additional support. She's already written quite a few behavior emergency reports. Her staff is already visited the hospital for their own health, their own struggle to provide what is best for the students. We thank you, Mrs. Alexander. We do need to do a lot better support for our special needs teachers. A lady I'm mentoring, who's a first-year intern, has not had an assessment class, was told that she wouldn't have anybody to help her with her IEPs because she was stiff last year, even though she hasn't had an assessment class. And that if she wanted any help, then it would have to come from our school site funds. It's not fair. So these are, and that's just my own school site. I have other stories, but I've written too much to you, told you too much. I just appreciate your work and continue to thank you, Ms. Linderman, for what you said, that it should be the beginning. Thank you, Mr. Porter, for researching and continuing. Thank you.
Ann Barnett.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Ann Barnett, and I'm a Vinewood parent. So obviously I'd like to discuss how the start of the school year went for our students, which obviously was less than ideal. Unfortunately, with the significant delays, there's been a lot of frustration, I think, on most people's part, both at the district, the parents, people on the site, and of course the kids. So when we are always doing these projects, we need to have the focus in mind of what's going to be better for the students. So as of right now, things aren't done. There's still a lot of projects that aren't complete, and now they're planning to start another one before anything else is actually done. So like Mr. Heberly obviously said, I think delaying, taking a look and see what the plans are, is this actually necessary? We don't have bus routes that come to Vinewood, yet we're putting in a bus route. It's going to obstruct an already very small road in Virginia. It just doesn't seem like we need to pursue this at this time and put the students through more demolition, taking away from their educational time in the classroom, because it is distracting. It's very loud, and if we don't need to do it yet, just wait. Why, if we don't have buses coming, why does it have to start next week? Why can't it be reevaluated and look at it over the summer? So it's a lot of money spent. I don't see the benefit. So from a stewardship standpoint of our funds, not seeing how that's going to be beneficial, again, for the students. We need to think about finishing what is done, fix the mistakes that were already made, because a lot were made because we continue to do the same thing. Again, definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. This has happened now multiple school years in a row at this site. So I would just, again, encourage you all to reconsider and delaying. So that way, again, better planning can be made. Thank you.
Laura Mulcahy, I'm sorry. I know you did. You did. Mulcahy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Laura Mulcahy. I first wanted to say thank you for those who responded to my emails regarding the Vinewood's courtyard landscaping plans. I was told that there was a CCD in the works, but my concern is that you plan to do the work within the next few weeks without the opportunity for review and questions of the plans. I look forward to viewing those plans. So like I said before, mature trees and grass is in the best interest of the students and not the toxic plants that were in place on the plans. My next concern is the construction. It's not just pardon our dust, as we're being told. My son says it sounds like a war movie in his classroom with all of the banging machinery and noise. My daughter tried to hide under her desk the other day because she thought there was an earthquake. Her desk was rattling and the floor was vibrating. So this is not okay. My children are there to learn and not be subjected to construction zones. There's been ample opportunity for American River to come onto campus when our children are out of school. The last minimum day, they weren't present. They're not there on the weekends. And they seem to be in no hurry to finish the project that they promised to complete. There also are no plans to fix what they broke. And they also are planning to paint and seal over the break, but the blacktop is still very high up, as I pointed out. And then starting a new project seems silly. My next point is the article I read from Steve Mann, and it was quoted that children are running in the streets getting to school. I have attended the school for many years, and we live right next to it. I've never seen a child run out into the streets. There are parents who cross the road with their children. It was also quoted that the plan for the bus stop was approved last Friday. This would have been August 8th. So my question is are there new plans? Because the plans that we see were done many years ago, and what was posted is May 2022. So if you have new plans that were approved, I would love to view those as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Erin Chester Brad.
I have something for you.
Okay.
I can hand it first. That's who she said to give it to.
Hello, my name is Erin Chesterbrot. I am a teacher at McNair High School. As you see in front of you, these are pictures of my classroom. The first one was taken at the start of school. The second one is my classroom with 2+ inches of water in it because I was 2 doors down from where the flood came. My room was under construction until 3:30 on 8/10, the day before I was supposed to start with students. I currently am an asthmatic and I have to teach with my mask on because I cannot breathe in the room, even though I've been told the air quality is fine, even though I've been told there's no mold in my room. Picture number E is the bubbling of the wall that they fixed. 2+ feet of my drywall was replaced, and it was flat, and it has rippled. And my science teachers who have come to my room have said, that's bubbling. That's coming from behind. That is not poor construction. There is still moisture in my room. Today, at 1:19, it was 64% humidity in my room with only 17 students with me. The next period, I had 28. I can't keep teaching like this, but I can't breathe in my room because it's musty. I asked for the baseboard that goes under the built-in cabinet for them to check under it for mold, but the baseboards were put back on and they checked mold in the room over the weekend. Those baseboards need to come off. Underneath there needs to be sprayed with antifungal because they're built-in wood cabinets. I'm in the room next door to the one that had mold in a cabinet that had a lip two inches high. And if you want to see pictures of that one, it was nasty. Her wall did not get fixed on the other side of mine. How can my wall need to be fixed, but hers, who is right next to the flood, doesn't? Our campus is not safe, and I should not have to teach in a mask to breathe. Thank you.
Amy Ramsau.
Good evening, Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young, Amy Ramsauer of Beckman Elementary. I first want to thank you all for the quick response. It was really great to come in the next morning and see workers on our campus after I spoke at the last board meeting. We have seen some repairs that have started, and we're really grateful for that. I thank Sherry for coming today and taking a look around our campus. I have sent you all a follow-up email this afternoon regarding this issue. While it's great that some of the things have started, there is still immense problems there. I sent you all some pictures of some things that still exist. I'm sure Ms. Alexander saw some of those things for herself today. I know that McNair's problems are vast and huge, and at the moment they trump us, and they should trump us. But deferred maintenance is a district-wide problem. It's not just exclusive to Beckman. So I'll be here every week, every time there's a meeting, and I'll keep you all posted as to what's happening at our site and the repairs that are being made. So I do appreciate your attention, and I thank you for acknowledging that. And I look forward to a safe school where the kids are coming into an environment that is welcoming to them and is usable. Thank you.
Naomi Santiago.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Young, and district staff. My name is Naomi Santiago. I'm a credentialed educator, a mother, a nonprofit leader, and a proud Latina woman of science. 10 days ago, I stood here preparing to speak to you on salary advancement and union inaction. But since then, another crisis has unfolded. I was told I was not allowed to enter into my classroom, despite holding a valid credential, being cleared by HR, and having my room fully prepared for students. I was treated as though I was dangerous, as though I had a restraining order against me. I wasn't a criminal. I wasn't a threat. Yet I was barred from my own classroom while a stranger replaced me. This happened because National University submitted a false withdrawal form to CTC claiming I was no longer employed. This was untrue. And Lodi received this error, knew I was still under contract, and still erased a month of my work, my pay, my training. This wasn't a paper glitch. It was retaliation. It was wage theft. It was wrong. And it stripped stability away from the very kids this district is supposed to protect. My students already coming from trauma from violence and poverty in Stockton came back to school and found me gone. Some were angry. Others thought it was my fault. They felt betrayed and abandoned. And the harm was entirely preventable. This is bigger than me. It's about the message we're sending our students, that if you are a minority, if you're a woman, if you speak up, if you advocate, you will be punished. I refuse that message. Representation matters. Advocacy matters. Accountability matters. So I ask you tonight, correct the record, investigate these failures, and restore the harm. Show our students that equity is not just a word in a mission statement, but a principle that guides our action, even when it's inconvenient. We should not have our AP chemistry and biology absent. I work really hard with our middle school STEM. It breaks my heart to see these results after a hard years of work this year. And working very strongly with our science coaches. Thank you.
Kelly Hanston. Kelly Hanston, grade teacher at Julia Morgan. Our board meetings are not usually like this, guys. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Ball. Thank you, board. Last time I came and spoke, I brought a message from our Julia Morgan teachers regarding our tussle over this 1.08% cost of living raise that we were told if we did not immediately agree to what the district was offering. You guys can leave now is what he's telling you. Or he wants to talk to you outside. Okay, anyway, this meeting's got me. Usually I come up and I speak extemporaneously, I speak with my heart. Right now, emotionally, I am totally disturbed by just about every single speaker who's been up here, and I hope it is affecting you guys as well. Yeah, I get up. It's, what's happening when I listen to Laura speak, Laura was a second grader when I was a student teacher. She was in my class. To see Vinewood being destroyed is very upsetting to me. But generally our morale is horrible in our school lately. Horrible. You need to really think about everything that you're doing. There's bargaining where we have an attorney now, because I was way back, I've been with the union for so long, I've been at these board meetings forever. Susan Heberly and I sat here and talked about getting off Concept 6 ages ago.
I've seen so many people sit in those chairs and blah, 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 blah. I took a picture where our portables, there's a thing that looks like it's gonna fall any minute on the students' heads. And I sent it to our principal today and said, it really looks like someone needs to come pull it down because it's gonna come down. Deferred maintenance, get on it, take care of it. Give us our money. This was Teachers After School today. We just were talking about why won't they give us our cost of living raise? I asked for Mr. Young to give us some kind of clarity about that. He needs to say why you don't want us to have this. It was given to other employees, and it just, our morale is so low. See what you can do to improve conditions in this district.
Good evening, everybody. If I look a little tired, it's because I've been up since 4 a.m. in service to this district. Probably not unlike some of the people in the audience right now. My name's Tanner. I work for the Transportation Department. You might remember me from the last board meeting. I raised some concerns about the wages for Lodi Unified employees being much too low. I explained how low wages make for hardships among those who teach our students, transport them, keep them safe, feed them, every other thing that we do to make sure that they have the education that they need. I also requested that you consider recommending to the appropriate bargaining parties that the wages be raised to meet the demands of the economy. The wages, surprise, surprise, have not yet increased, so of course I'm back here to remind you. Today, Lodi Transportation lost a really great employee, Rebecca Hines. She was a favorite among her coworkers and among the many students who rode her bus. She's left, she's not dead, just to clarify. I phrased that a little weird. Just before this school year started, we lost another great employee, Danny Quintal, who went to work for Stockton Unified. The Transportation Department currently has less bus drivers than it has in years. The question on everybody's mind right now is, why are bus drivers dropping like flies? Why can't we seem to keep them under our roof? And I feel like the answer to that is the same answer of why every department seems to be understaffed right now. The wages are too low. We can't keep people on board. The thing that's so frustrating about this is that I just heard a bunch of people talking about a new construction effort, happening, which is great. There should be a bus zone for Vinewood, but you're not even listening to the people that work there on how to make it happen. And it's very frustrating seeing district funds going to something that is receiving zero input from the people that work at these schools, and not into the pockets of people who make the district happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. We have comments from the employee group representatives. Each representative group will have 5 minutes to comment on non-agendized items.
Not tall like Tanner.
Hello again, President Bao, members of the board, Superintendent Young, Rogerio Contreras, CSA Lodi 77 President. I would like to report that yesterday we met with Mrs. Church and her team. We had a great session. Thank you, Aaron. What the Lodi Board of Education did for us, for our members last year on our health and benefits, helped them very much. We are a very unique group with very diverse needs. I hope that this year, the board can also extend a very similar plan to help our members, your employees. Thank you, and look forward to working with you. Have a good night.
President Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young. What a start to the school year, right? We're like a month into it and it's been crazy. I keep hearing this recurring theme from everyone who spoke tonight. And I think it speaks to why we are all here, every single one of us. And that is to put students first. And from the comments that I've heard, your constituents, which are the public, which are the employees, don't feel that the students are being put first. The situation at McNair, where it was rushed to get people back to campus. I understand that you have to balance getting students back into the classroom with having a safe school. But like a lot of things in this district, I feel that things are rushed to get it done, to put a stamp on it and say, see, I did this. And we don't look back at to see what the ramifications are, or if there were mistakes that were made. We just keep moving forward even though it may not be the right path. I can say that about Vinewood as well. Plans that were from years ago being done may not fit the neighborhood today, but we're still going ahead with it. Parents are already, at the last couple of meetings, have already questioned it. Is this right for our students today? Because these plans were drawn up over a decade ago. And special ed. Wow. Special ed teachers have been saying for quite a while that, hey, what we're doing isn't working. Mrs. Lenderman brought that up too. But again, I am not seeing anything innovative. It has been brought to, I know that the district got rid of autism coaches years ago and put them back in the classroom because we lacked special education teachers. So now some of these autistic children are in general ed classrooms. We want the least restrictive environment, don't get me wrong. But the general ed teachers don't have the autism coach support because there are none in our district. Again, is that doing right by the students? Are we looking out for our charges? Because I will tell you, teachers, and several of you are up here are teachers, former teachers, there are kids. We have, those of us in secondary, we've borne thousands of children. You know, for some of our teachers in elementary, they can say the same thing because they've been around for 25, 30 years. There are kids. They're in our heart, even when they leave. You know, they're in our hearts for forever. And we need to do right by them. And it's frustrating for us as teachers sometimes because we're constrained as well. But I think sometimes the constraint is, well, this is how we've always done it. Again, is how we've always done it the best thing? Have we gotten better outcomes? And that's, I think, what Mrs. Linderman is looking for. Let's analyze what the outcomes are. And if they're not where we want, then let's change what we do. And that goes back to as well as having fully staffed classrooms, having employees that are happy, who want to come to work and can afford to stay in the district. I've had teachers leave because, for example, some issues that we're having with our CTE pay scale. I've had teachers leave because they can go somewhere else. We all know we've had teachers leave because they can go to a school district within what I call a cup of coffee, they can drink a cup of coffee and go there, have better pay, better benefits. We gotta be competitive. We're not. And we can say that for other employees. I can say that for our school staff employees as well. They're not happy. Their kids aren't gonna be happy either. You know, you've heard the saying, happy wife or happy life. Happy teachers, happy kids. Thanks.
Thank you. We're moving on to comments from board members.
First, I would like to start with a question or like a request, if it would be okay to have Superintendent Young report to the board that the site, you know, is safe, that, you know, we look at that and we can say, yes, we have high confidence that this is safe.
Do you want him to report on that right now?
Oh, I don't know if you could even have that data
Okay, so
necessarily.
we'll request for a report
Yeah,
and we can
yeah,
bring it back to us, sure?
Yeah, I'll share with the board. I'll talk with Mrs. Holbert and make sure that we can provide information to the board.
Thank you.
And then just kind of, an 8/14 was Family Day, American Family Day, and just a reminder of how important families are in education systems and building a good community, right? And so I saw a really cool community this last Friday. I took my PTO from work to go to Julia Morgan to watch, how do I say that? Is Bindi? Bindi, which I think is your house.
Yes, it is.
Where the teachers had revealed to all the children their wonderful houses, their house families. And it was really cool to see the excitement and the love that the kids had for their house cheers and the really cool community that they built. And I think you guys call this PBIS?
It's the RCA.
RCA, thank you, RCA house system. And then, so that was really neat to see. And I know that it's been implemented in many schools, so it's really cool to see that continuation. And also, a shout out to Krista McCullough. I got to walk the campus with Mr. Kirby on Friday as well, see what middle school is like. I remember why middle school's a little bit chaotic, but also got to enjoy how wonderful, you know, teachers are in their classroom, in their element, talking to children and teaching them. So that was also neat. So huge shout out to the schools that hosted me for the couple of hours on my PTO. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just kind of want to parrot a couple of things.
Could you put your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I might do that. I want to parrot Ms. Letterman. I would love to see an after-action report for McNair High School and have information from all the stakeholders. Anytime you have an accident like that, it's always good to look in and review what you did and what you did right, what you did wrong, and file it away for the next time that it happens. And seeing some of these pictures here, being one of the teachers famously at Tokay, when Mrs. Heverly was teaching with me, that I taught AP biology in a home economics cooking room while the science department had mold in the building, and we had to redo all that. I don't know if anybody remembers all that, but it was quite an event to go through all that, and I hate to see that happen here. Anytime you have water, and somebody that loves to swim and be around it, it goes everywhere. And this bubbling here is concerning. So I think an after-action report would be great for the board. And with that, I'd like to see all stakeholders involved in the report: teachers, students, parents, the construction workers, what they did, what they're still doing. And keep it just brief, you know, like who you talk to and so forth. I'm sorry, Edith. I'm looking over at Mr. Young. But just so we have an idea of what we've done, what we can do, what we still have to do probably. I don't think that's going to go away for a while. And making sure that our teachers and students are in the best environment. The other is, I've got two more to go, is Vinewood. It's my favorite place to walk. A lot of parents live in where I live, and I've watched it now. Wasn't really aware of it because I used to take my dog through there every day. It is, I'm trying to put this in very polite PC terms, but it's gone from a train wreck to a wreck. There's a lot of work going on, but I just don't see where the kindergarten class is. Now we're doing a bus pullout. I don't know what's happening there. I heard that all the IDAs got canceled, but yet they have combo classes. There's a host of issues here, and I'd like to see the parents get more involved because it's a community school. I told Leonard Kahn this when I had to deal with Lakewood and the fence, that anytime that we are remodeling around homes, we need to talk to the people that live around them before we do anything. Then, of course, we involve the parents of the kids and tell them what's going on. He did that with Lodi High when we had construction. Let them know, those people that live there, we're going to have concrete, we're going to have this happening, so that the people that live there have some idea of what's going on. Good communication. I do believe you did that on Virginia Street, if I remember correctly, from the parents, the people that I talked to, which is good, but it's late. So Vinewood, I think a best bet for me, what I would love to see, and I'm pushing for, is a pause. Finish up what you got going now and just stop. We don't need to worry about buses because there's no buses going there now. And we need to look at what's going on there. And if Larson's overcrowded and we're stopping IDAs and we have a combo class at Vinewood, I'm confused. So maybe I don't know all the things. I mean, I'm here to learn. But Vinewood in itself, if my son or daughter was going there, I'd have some definite concerns, especially the dust and everything that's going on when they're working during school time. And a lot of times when they're not working, when I walk by, what's happening there. And then I've heard a rumor that at Lodi Middle School, there is something going on with the gym. And that we're running out of money and we're not gonna have the full gym that we need. And I'd like to see that happen. And since I'm on the facilities committee, I would like to be aware of what's going on more, because the Vinewood thing hit me out of left field. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going to be happening like this. I didn't know the contractor would be taking a month off. The whole thing went sideways. And so I do know that you probably carry the insurance that goes with that, where they have to finish at a certain time. I forgot the name of it. But you're doing that at Tokay's pool. But man, I think we need an after-action report for McNair. What's going on, alleviate these people's tensions that are in their classroom, and then I'd like to see Vinewood just finish, stop, take a deep breath, get the parents involved, of the kids that are going there and the neighborhood, and then at Lodi Middle, the rumors I'm hearing about the gym, I'd like to see that taken care of and at least brought forward to Dr. Ball, Sherry, and myself that are on the facilities committee, so we can take a look at that and make some decisions going forward with the people in the community. Because as I've heard from a brilliant man, what you do now will be around for 50 years. So let's take care of it, let's do it right.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Yes, I just don't, actually, I'm not going to repeat what Courtney said, but I want Superintendent to resolve the problems at McNair. We should have resolved those problems at McNair. If that facility wasn't ready to go in, we shouldn't have had the teachers in there. We should have waited another 2 days. Let's resolve the problem there. Vinewood, my gosh, a lot of things are happening at Vinewood, and let's resolve those problems. There's no students being bused there. I understand. Somebody said there aren't. So why are we doing a bus thing in there? I don't understand that one. But let's resolve those problems that we have there. Again, I want to thank those McNair teachers that were here to actually tell us about the problems that you have right now, and the teachers at Vinewood that have those problems also. And we shouldn't have any construction going on in Vinewood to disturb the education of all these little youngsters that we have there.
100%, 100%. Mr. Nava, what about the library that's going on in McNair there, that's on the corner?
That library should be finished in November.
Yeah, because it's kind of a nice
Right.
one.
Of this year?
Yes.
This year. It was supposed to finish in November of last year.
Right.
My people that work there and in the city of Stockton, it's gonna be ready for November.
That's good, that's good.
This November.
'Cause it's been-
Beautiful facility. If you've been in there, it's got a gymnasium. It's a beautiful facility and it needs to be open soon. That's all. Thanks.
That's good to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd be echoing some things, so I'm gonna just not, but I'm really impressed with Lodi High's AP, and I'm liking they branched out into art, some other things that were maybe not expected, and both my kids, and I know other people here, kids were benefited from the AP program over at Lodi High. And I also had a really good visit to, and I'm not sure whether it's Turner West or West Turner, which way it goes.
Turner West.
Okay, Turner West, the Owls, and they're having kind of I would describe it as a soft opening, maybe in a restaurant, the 8th and 9th graders, and I get a nice little tour. I have a long connection with that spot, 67 years actually. So I'm glad, and I watched them all summer work on it, and when I talked to the principal there, I guess she's actually VP, that the contractor's checking in and making sure things are done, and they're working out the little glitches, and it's giving it a process time to open. So really good experience, and I'm going back there fairly soon. And I'm also glad, I heard some good stuff from M&O, from just people, about M&O from people around in a neighbor and a truck driver was just watching people work, but I'm really glad the graffiti at Lawrence was taken care of real quick before any of the students saw it. And it's important, I mean, there's a big complaint because it's, different thing, eventually probably need to be repainted, but it was nice to see the stuff got covered up and none of the students were affected by it. It was done before school, over the weekend, so I thought that was really good, and the principal was really happy about it. And on a personal note to the district staff, I wrote Mr. Porter into doing a mini triathlon. And if anybody else would like to challenge a couple of old guys, and we did get a younger person to run, he's only in his early, we have 196 years between the three of us. But it's, and that's accurate, because I don't have my friends in it. So, anyway, you have mini one, 9-mile bike ride, 3-mile run, and 600-yard swim. If you guys want to get a team, and maybe give a couple old guys heart attacks. So, anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Just very quickly, a little PTSD looking at the McNair pictures. I remember when it rained inside my classroom after they repaired or put a new roof on at Lodi Middle School and didn't put the paper down. And so I look at that and I'm like, I remember that. And I'm kind of, as hard as it is, we never came to the board and asked for help. We never felt that that was, I guess, the place to be. And so I'm encouraged that people are feeling hopeful that they can come to us and things will get done, or at least we'll do our best. And I want you to know we do listen. We do listen. And so I feel that we're on a positive. I asked Mr. Porter, Ms. Holbert, about the courts, and I got a very speedy answer on that. So thank you, Edith. And I wanted to thank you also. I know Ms. Lindeman asked about putting finished pictures at the end, and it was kind of cool to see that. And I know that's one extra step, but it does show completion. I'm concerned about the bubbles in the wall, without a doubt, and I'm very concerned about Vinewood. If we don't have bus routes, why are we doing that now? There's summertime. Yeah. I don't care if there's field trips where occasionally we need some buses. I think that's probably minimal compared to what those kids have been through. I'm all for pause this, give the kids a break, let them get into a norm before we bring in the next wave of that, so. I know last time it was brought up that the teachers get frustrated when we give them compliments and tell them what a good job, because it sounds like we're not being sincere, because we're not following it up with, here's your check, or here's a gold star. Please know, and I'll just keep saying it, whether you believe it or not, you are valued and appreciated. We were there, we've been there, we understand it, so thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, board, for your comments, and you've all pretty much summed any thought that would come to mind. We'd appreciate some answers on the questions that all the board members asked Mr. Young. Thank you, Edith. Same for you, and if together you can work on this and give us some answers. Thank you. Thank you all for a kind, considerate meeting, and we'll look forward to the next school year as kind, as considerate as today's meeting. Thank you.